The inevitable has happened, my friends. Me on my personal Instagram account, it appears that I've gotten shadow banned. It appears that my posts are only being shown to a very tiny fraction of my audience. And chances are, if you watch this video, you're shadow banned as well. So in this video, we're going to go over my practical example on how I actually got shadow banned, you know, what I did wrong or why the shadow ban happened. And then I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do to get out of this so you can replicate this and you can get your reach back up again to be happy. And as you know, if you're happy, I'm happy. That's why we love each other. Welcome back, Dominators. My name is Dominic, and let's talk about this dreaded shadow ban because the engagement drops happen all over the place. Recently, the Instagram CEO has been talking about this whole thing. He always says, well, we can't guarantee a distribution for each and every one of our users, which is kind of a sad thing, but yeah, I guess that's just how it is. And you know, I've had clients obviously that were in a shadow ban. I've been shadow banned myself a couple of times on my personal account, but I've always gotten out of it. But this time it happens right before in front of our eyes. So, you know, I figured why not just take a look at my account, what I did wrong, so you can see practically, you know, unfiltered, if you will, what I did wrong and what you can do yourself to get out of this. So first of all, the most important thing, if you're shadow banned, if you're like, okay, I don't get likes anymore, I don't get comments anymore, why the hell am I doing this? First of all, is don't throw away your nerves, okay? It doesn't matter. Nobody really cares about your likes, okay? Sometimes you just get less likes than usual, and it's not the end of the world. Needless to say, still a ton of people actually get the reach taken away from that, like from one day to another. I get tons of messages of people saying, well, my reach has been 10% of what it had been the day before even. So, you know, kind of the same thing happened to me. So let's take out my phone here. Oh no, I got a new phone. I haven't set it up for screen recording. How the hell am I going to do this? So as you can see, we're here on my Instagram account right now. If you take a look at the last post I did 2 days ago, it had 351 likes. If you compare that to a post that was before, it has 4,000 likes, 500 comments, almost 490 comments. Here, 7 comments. And probably a few of them are me actually responding. You can see with the reels, it's always a thing. We're not going to get into the reels right here. But before that, if you could see like 1,500 likes, 80 comments, something like this, 1,500 likes seem to have been, you know, just the normal range that my audience, and in this case, you actually give to me. Now, the first thing that you want to do if you think you're shadow banned is be true and honest to yourself. Take a look at your posts that you did recently and be honest to yourself. Is this actually a good post? Is this a post that people would want to like? And you really have to take a look at yourself from an outside perspective. You know, for example, in my case, I wrote kind of like a farewell to one of the people that actually have influenced me quite a lot. And here's a picture of me with him a couple of years ago. I'm not going to get into that. I think there's a documentary about him on Netflix or somewhere. But anyway, just, you know, even though for me, this is a very near and dear topic to my heart. And, you know, it's just something sad for me and still something beautiful for me that I, was able to share this picture. Still, people who follow me, who follow heyDominik, you know, first of all, that's not really what they signed up for. It could be even that they did not recognize it was for me, you know, because you only have a split second to figure out, okay, wow, this is heyDominik. Wow, this is the guy that I follow. This is him. Let me read through this. But you only have a split second to get people actually out of this autopilot, like we talk about in my black file, for example. In this case, I just gotta be honest to myself. It's not a good post. It's a bad quality picture, also bad for the Instagram algorithm. There's an old guy mainly in the main part of the frame, so people are like, huh? Probably I even lost some followers, and people might have gotten put off by scrolling through this. They might have not even recognized it's me. They did not get real value out of that, if you know what I mean. So first of all, you got to be really honest to yourself. Are your recent posts that you've been putting out really the kinds of posts that your audience signed up for? We talked about it recently in one of my videos. Sometimes trends, they just stop. They just evolve. They just are not, some topics are just not interesting anymore to people. So really be honest to yourself. In this case, yeah, I've got to admit, it's not the best kind of post. It's actually really, I would say it's on the lower quality of posts that I've ever made. So first of all, it could be that I'm not necessarily shadow banned, but my reach just got taken away because the signals that the algorithm gets are just, bad signals. And that just happens sometimes, but that's just part of the game of figuring out what actually works for your audience or not. Second thing we're going to take a look at is the post insights. And as you can see, I got 1 follower through this post. Thanks a lot, people. Only 3% were not following me. We're not following heyDominik that actually took a look at this account, at this picture. That's actually a bad number. It should be around 15, 20, 25. If you have 50 or 70%, this is when the things go viral. This is what you want to kind of want to replicate. But here you can see I have about 30,000 followers on Instagram on this account, and I have 4,235 people reached. So this is a tiny fraction of the people that actually follow me. And if you can see, the majority still is from people that follow me, that actually follow me. As you can see here from the home tab, it's about 4,500 impressions. This is one of the first indicators that you can see that the post itself is not really good and people are really not interested in that kind of post. It's still 4,500 people that saw this post in their homepage, and only 352 hit the like button. Okay, so this is a tiny fraction. This just shows how the algorithm works. It shows your post to a tiny fraction of your audience, and depending on how they react, it will either go up or go down. They will stop your reach altogether. This being said, the second indicator that you're going to want to see is, did you appear in Explorer? Probably not, if you're shadow banned, or in the hashtags. And if you can see, this is a huge thing. With me not having the reach that I usually have, are the hashtags. As you can see right here, by the way, the new iPhone gets hot pretty quick, pretty hot on the sides of this steel band, but the hashtags, I have 93 impressions from the hashtags on this post, which is just really low. And there's a few reasons for that. If we take a look at a post, for example, before they took away the majority of my reach, as you can see right here, looking pretty differently. I have about 11,000 impressions from hashtags compared to 90 something, 11,000. Just take the next post, almost 10,000. And this was a recurring theme. I used to get a lot of impressions from hashtags, and this mainly has something to do with myself, because I honestly did not take the time and do hashtag research like you're supposed to. I just took some bunch of random hashtags because we're like, whatever. I just want to post a post. I didn't post a lot recently. I just used random hashtags more or less. Obviously, they did not work. Obviously, I only got couple of impressions. By the way, if you can see here with a recent post that did a little bit better, still got only around 400 impressions from hashtags. Why? Because I did not bother doing hashtag research with those posts where I got 11,000 impressions from hashtags, and usually right around 10,000 impressions of hashtags. I did hashtag research, mostly using Hashtastic. I took my time, couple of hours, to actually figure out which kinds of hashtags would work, which have a higher chance of me ranking in them. And, just doing that, as you can see, I have 11,000 times more probably than I have right now without doing the proper research. How are you going to do? I have some videos about that. I have some videos lined up about that. And also in my black file and in my Startup Accelerator program, which is included in the black file. If you get in right now, it's closed. We have some really interesting insights about how the hashtag ranking works and stuff like this. Now, another reason why my reach has gone down quite a bit in the past couple of weeks is, first of all, because I didn't really post a lot, but we're going to get into that right in a second. Second thing is because I might have gotten flagged by the spam or anti-community guidelines detection algorithm. It's mainly Instagram saying, well, you don't play according to our rules. We're going to punish you for that. Now, what happened? Well, I briefly touched upon it on my latest live stream, but one time I made an Instagram music story with me and the Toll Time Music Home Improvement. If you guys know this show, this old show of my childhood, because I was doing stuff here in this apartment, in my new apartment, and I said, yeah, this is sponsored by Binfort. Obviously, nobody knows the joke because I'm old or something like this, but this was a fictional company that sponsored in this home improvement TV show with Tim Allen. They sponsored this, and I put this in just to be, funny. Half an hour later, I got this big red flag button, this red notification from Instagram. They said, well, here's the thing. We believe you have gotten sponsored for one of your posts, and you did not declare that. You have time right now to actually review that and declare that it's actually sponsored and tag your sponsorship partner, because that's required by law, blah, blah, blah. Why? Just because I said, well, this is sponsored by Binfort. That's it. They listen to what you say. They see what you write in there. I've got some very interesting insights about that in one of my next videos coming up about the new image detections of Instagram. But ever since then, I got on my phone this new tab right on top of everything called branded content. They put it there to always have it in the back of my mind. They're like, okay, you have to declare if you brand your content. Obviously, I did not declare that I have a branded content. I got a couple of notifications like, hey, just to remind you again, review your branding things. Obviously, I didn't do it because I was not sponsored, But I believe I might have gotten some sort of flack for the algorithm. Usually this fades away after some time. This fades away with you just being a good kid after some time. But probably this was also part of why my reach got taken away. Now, what am I going to do to actually get out of this hole? But first of all, we're going to hit the promote button and promote your latest posts and the posts that are following for just a couple of bucks every time that you post for, let's say, a few days. How exactly you're going to do that? I think in my free training down below, we talk about it. Also, we talk about it in my paid programs. It would be too complicated for right now. But that's the first thing that you should do. Promote your posts for a couple of bucks just to get a little bit more reach, a little bit more real social signals, because that's what the algorithm obviously tracks. Now, the other thing is to actually get out and post some amazing posts. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to, for example, take your spreadsheet that we talked about in one of my videos, or in your analytics feature within the Instagram app. Check out, okay, which are the posts that actually performed the best in the past 90 days, for example, and then try to figure out why they actually performed the best and try to replicate them. Try to create similar posts to that, and try to actually figure out what your audience wants. Identify why your audience was here in the first place, why your audience is still sticking around, what they need, what they want from you, what kind of invisible contract you both signed when they hit the follow button. What should you give to them? And if you identify that, you're going to give exactly that to them. This is kind of what the algorithm looks out for anyway. Okay, next big part actually is you're going to have to diversify your content and post regularly. And this is such a huge point that I actually see people do wrong all the time. They're like, okay, like me, all of a sudden they're like, I used to get 4,000 likes or 2,000 likes or whatever, and now I only get 300 likes. It's not even worth for me to post anymore. I should just invest my time elsewhere and just post every other month or something like this, and that's it. That's actually the worst thing that you could do, because the less you post, the less data you get to the algorithm, you're going to get less relevant, ranked as less relevant inside the algorithm. You're just going to be in a downward spiral, and your reach will just go lower, lower, and that's it. So don't be butthurt about it. It's just a natural cycle of social media. It goes up, it goes down. You're just going to have to deal with that. It's just part of your job if you want to, do this professionally. And also another part for this is, like Mosseri recently said, is that you should use all of Instagram's functions to all of their extents, ideally video content. First of all, we did a lot of research recently, and it seems like watch time, kind of similar to the one that people talk about here on YouTube, meaning how long people stay on your profile, how much they engage with your profile in general, and how many posts they consume, and how long in general they stay on Instagram because of you. The more they do that, the better for you and your profile, and the more you get suggested on Instagram, and then you just get your reach back up again, if you will. And just by thinking of that, of trying to get people to stay and consume content through you on the platform Instagram as much as possible, just think about that. What kind of content is actually the content that makes people stay the shortest on the platform? Right, just some regular picture posts. In this case, it's just a regular picture post, a low quality regular picture post that people don't even really understand probably within the first few seconds. So obviously people are not going to stay that long on Insta. Maybe they're even like, what is this? I don't remember this. Let me just, exit the app or something like this. And this is exactly what Mosseri said in, or always says recently in his Instagram Q&As. Try to use video features. Because that makes people stay on the platform longer. That makes people interact with you longer, not only for the platform side and the algorithm side, but also for the depth that you get with your audience. Because if your audience are fans of you, real fans of you, obviously they're gonna interact with you a lot more, and then it's another upward spiral. Yes, I know it's a switch from what Instagram used to be, the simple photo sharing platform. But, things just changed, and I know it's going to be a little bit more work, probably a lot more work if you should focus on video content, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so extra bonus point for all the people who are still watching right now is one thing that's more for the advanced people who really take it seriously, and you probably are if you watch it until right now, is getting external views. And I did some research about that, getting people from external platforms to stay in your profile, because that's kind of like what the idea of engagement groups are, but not at all what engagement groups do right now. Because right now, engagement groups, they're like, okay, come in my group and we're gonna like each other's posts, and then we're just gonna be there for a few seconds. I'm only gonna like your post for the reason being that you're gonna like my post in the end, and we're not gonna really check out our content. We don't really have interaction between us. The only difference between the regular old engagement groups, which are highly punished by Instagram, and the one that I'm talking about is that those people don't do it for getting something back, but actually because they want to engage and consume your content. Okay? They wait for you to hit that email, for example, that messenger broadcast, to get some more value or something. They see that you're like, okay, here's what this whole thing is about today. By the way, I have a special post on my Instagram. A new Reels, a new IGTV video, a post where I share some, carousel, or a regular post where I have some very interesting insights written down below just for you. Hit this up right now, blah, blah, blah. People are going to get that email. They're going to read what you're going to have to say, and they're going to be like, wow, awesome. This is what I signed up for. I want to consume more. They're going to hit the link, and they're going to check out the post. Consume your content. Maybe in the email you could even say, well, by the way, there's this other post that also might be for your benefit. There's this, is it guides, Instagram guides or something, this feature that some people have already, some don't. But yeah, just as a bonus tip right here on this actually very long video for you special people. This is my plan to get out of a Shadowban. This is what you should do to get out of a Shadowban. I'm going to do an update in a few weeks of, telling you how these things worked out. Maybe if you're Shadowban right now, do the exact same thing. Give me, tag me in your stories or somewhere, or in your post, or write me an email or DM or something like this. And yeah, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna make a case study about this. And yeah, this was it for today. My name's Dominic. Thanks for watching. My voice kind of done. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in a couple of days. Bye. And don't get Shadowbanned, my friends. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, my friends.